hosting and wins. With those two things, can I try to provide a little perspective about where my Native American ancestry family stands in Formula One car racing? So I'm filming this on Sunday, 24 August 2025. I'm Tanis Coralee of Seattle, and here I ruminate about my Native American inferiority in Formula One car racing as of when I filmed this video on Sunday, 24 August 2025, specifically in regards to North American, Native American lands being used for Formula One Grand Prix events without corresponding representation of people of North American, Native American ancestry at the top. So instead of using ism terms, using ism at the end of a word in reference to certain topics, I think has been consistently. I even attended a #1 graduate school program at the University of California, Berkeley, and it's like, ban all ism words, because that itself is triggering. So it's like, let's try it from the humble perspective. Talk about myself, not someone else, and frame it as accepting where we are. So we are inferior, right? Okay, so can I describe that in a way that's non-triggering? So, okay. This is in reference to like continental race of that's the people whose, for this context, race means ancestral origins on a particular continent, with the continents being North America, Oceania / Pacific Islands, South America, Asia, Africa, and Europe. Okay. So start with me and then be like, relative to my most my most inferior part, where's the rest? Okay. This is a ruminating about. Okay. So most disadvantaged race in Formula One car racing, North American Native Americans, people of North American Native American descent or ancestry. Okay. We are not allowed to compete, and there okay. And there have been numerous Grand Prix events contested on our lands without our corresponding representation at the top. Formula One communicated it did not want us by not waiting for us. So the key here is inferiority, because our lands are trampled for these events and we're not there. So people are like, you didn't show up, and it's like, you are genociding my people and the native wildlife. We don't consent to this. Get out. Right? But it's not Formula One car racing. It's all sports. All sports are disrespectful to us like that. Like it's the United States of America. There's over 400 million invasive humans alone. Okay, like there's no commitment to getting it right. Okay, so slightly above us. So the next most disadvantaged would be maybe Oceanians / Pacific Islanders. So they have less hosting than us. However, there's not a whole lot of Aboriginals behind the wheel. So if, like at the top, so if we're thinking of like driving prowess, they might be on par with us North American Native Americans. However, they don't host as much as we do, like as in our lands do. So then there's slightly less disadvantage because they're less taken advantage of on the hosting duties. Okay. Slightly above that, maybe South American Native Americans. I think they may have some representation at the driver level as well as hosting level. And then above that, slightly above that, maybe Asians. Okay. The most privileged race for the world we live in, Africans, people of African descent. They have Lewis Hamilton, who has tied for winning more world championships than any other person, without Africa hosting so much as a single Grand Prix event. Freeloaders. Or just extreme privilege. Okay. Formula One communicated it wanted Africa most by waiting for it to be represented at the top, right? So they're going to be the most privileged of anything because it hasn't hosted anything and it has more than anybody else. Just reap the wealth, right? As soon as that first one's hosted, it's like, we were the best at the time. Everybody else, especially you Native Americans, die, you guys. It's just like, so people like me are just like, they trampled our lands and they trample us, and we haven't even made top 10 right, ever. So, what? Okay, right, so this is a gross privilege mismatch right there. And then towards the top, so below that would be Europeans, people of European descent. They have Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. Me. They host a lot and win a lot. However, it was not saved, so their first time or their debut was waited until they were at the top and greater than, or at least tied with as the best ever. So there we go. That's ruminating about my Native American inferiority. That's like, yeah, a weasel term. For like a long-tailed weasel, Mustela Fornata. Okay, so ruminating about my Native American inferiority in Formula One car racing as of 24 August 2025.